In the golden days of film, grain was a flaw, an accident born from light exposure and chemical reactions in celluloid. But as digital technology advanced, we began to romanticize these imperfections, mistaking them for proof that something real had happened. Nowhere is this clearer than with vinyl records. The pop and crackle once signaled aging media, but today they're sold as character, a curated sense of nostalgia engineered into the product itself. We're no longer passive observers. We are now designers of decay. Instagram's film filters don't just mimic the past, they commodify it. Users pay for an illusion, a veneer of authenticity that never existed in the first place. The filter becomes an alibi instead of capturing real moments. We capture something designed to look like memory. This is not nostalgia as remembrance, but as branding strategy where the past isn't recalled. It's replicated with the precision of code and the detachment of a machine. The birth of manufactured nostalgia lies not in the artifact itself, but in its reproduction. When we create imperfections by design, whether it's AI, generated handwriting, or algorithms spitting out vintage textures, we're no longer dealing with authenticity. We're dealing with a system that sells trust through artificial decay. The result is a hierarchy. Real flaws are sacred. Fake ones are just another.
Early computers were basically giant calculators with vacuum tubes, bulky, unreliable, and slow by today's standards. But they laid the groundwork for everything we take for granted now.
We are used to thinking of authenticity as something we preserve, like a patina on antique furniture. But what happens when that patina is manufactured in the first place? Today's algorithms don't just mimic reality. They produce new kinds of flaws, like six-fingered hands or glitchy speech. These errors become targets for detection systems, which then get faked and resolved as signs of realness. The cycle repeats. Imperfection becomes currency, then counterfeit, then commodity. The commodification of these artifacts is nothing new. Every medium, printing, photography, film, started with flaws that were later turned into aesthetic features. In the 15th century, engraved title pages carried both text and iconography to communicate meaning visually before mass literacy caught up. Today we do the same, but faster, with machine learning turning glitches into branding.
This master matrix now could be used to press the final records, I was told. but it would not last long enough to turn out the millions of discs music lovers demand. Hence, another disc called a mother matrix must be made first, and from that, stampers will be made to press the final records.
In Technopoly, Neil Postman warned that technology doesn't just solve problems, it redefines what we consider truth or freedom. Today, his warning plays out in the authenticity economy. As AI floods our screens with simulated imperfection, trust becomes a product, not a feeling. We no longer remember through experience. We simulate memory through filters and algorithms. What matters is not the past, it's how it can be repackaged for profit. Just this week, the New York Times reported that tech workers are now trying to minimize their AI use after reaching saturation. It's not just burnout, it's resistance. As algorithmic systems increasingly define what counts as human, they threaten our agency. Watermarking policies and digital taints are supposed safety measures, but in practice, these marks become the new authenticity badges. Instead of fighting fakes, we now need to decode who authorized them. Let's pause and hear from an archival voice on how authenticity was first questioned in the digital age. Then we return to today, where institutions like tech companies now enforce aesthetic norms through watermarking and metadata. This is not just about avoiding fraud. It's about controlling perception itself. The illusion of trust is no longer accidental, it's engineered.
If you learn decimals and simple arithmetic in the classroom, if you like to work with your hands, if you like to make things, if you are not afraid of oil, grease, and dirt,
we live in a paradox of authenticity, where we pay to manufacture imperfections while simultaneously developing tools to detect them. This creates an endless feedback loop between creation and detection, each side pushing the other toward more convincing fakes. The result is not just counterfeit objects, but counterfeit trust itself. We no longer want real history. We want a version of it that fits our algorithms and aesthetics. In this cycle, what's lost isn't just truth, it's the very idea that authenticity can mean anything at all. The paradox deepens in trying to prove authenticity. We end up replicating the very processes that undermine it. This hollow loop doesn't just reflect consumer desire. It mirrors our deeper anxiety about what's real and why it matters. We chase after an ideal of truth, only to find that even trust has become a product.